Hello and welcome back to the Star Trek Las Vegas 2019. I'm Heather Ferris and I'm your unofficial host for STL V, and we are coming at you live with interviews, trivia, cosplay, combat, game shows, interactive segments, and more. If you don't want to miss out, hit that subscribe button and also hit that notification button so you'll always be notified of our latest videos and live streams. So right now, we are lucky enough to do a Trekkie interview with Jay, right? Mm-hmm. And Jay, can you tell people, you're Terran, you're the species Terran, right?
Indeed, to put it simple, I love Star Trek and I have great respect for all the alien species that have been featured throughout the Star Trek universe, but me, I just love being plain and simple.
Well, plain and simple, that just makes things nice and easy and wonderful. I like that. That's really cool. Now, are you doing any cosplay this year? Like, what cosplay are you doing?
Well, usually what I do is, because I keep things simple, and my hat's off to everybody here who puts a lot of time and effort into being a makeup artist for their own costumes and uniforms and attires, whatever. But me, what I do is I can provide everything from the waist down in plain black, from the pants to the belt to the shoes and the socks. But what I do is, mainly, I'm in a Star Trek themed t-shirt and notably wear something for a cause that I care about. Me personally, I'm on the autism spectrum, and this year is my 25th year being autistic, officially diagnosed. I'm 31 and I started getting into Star Trek after I was 6, so about late 93 into 1994. And also, I wear on my back a flag and I wear a cap. This is Sea Shepherd, a non-profit conservation organization for ocean wildlife that William Shatner supports, that Dominic Keating supports, and Connor Trenier supports, and also Tracy Coco I also heard by word of mouth, and I even made Catherine Hicks an official Sea Shepherd member last year.
Wow, so do you want to turn around so everybody can see that?
Sure. Okay. Looks something like this.
Woo! Awesome, thank you very much. Cool. And so how many years then have you been going to Star Trek Las Vegas?
This year, 2019, is officially my 7th year in a row. I've been coming here since 13. In 13, I was only able to come for one day because there was something else going on that I wanted to attend in Vegas. But from 14 onwards, I've been here every single day.
Wow, awesome, cool. And what keeps bringing you back year after year? What do you enjoy the most?
Well, the thing is, I enjoy, seeing the actors themselves come back, and also we have directors, producers, makeup artists, and also people with science degrees, college professors who have science majors. I love hearing them, what they have to say, and also the people. It's just I've made people who start out as random strangers eventually become good acquaintances and even good friends. And that's why I keep coming back here, but also to share the message that say, hey, Star Trek helped me. It taught me my social skills. That was my struggle as an autistic child, 6 to 10 years old at least, and it helped me. I am forever grateful for having Star Trek in my life.
And it seems like with every series that they have, there's always one character in this series that has a really, really hard time with social interaction. The Next Generation, it was Data and everything. With Voyager, it was 7 of 9. And I agree with you. I really, really like those characters, and I really like that aspect because that's what they do. They teach you the social rules that might not be apparent to people who find it a little harder to see that. Is that correct?
Yes, I commonly agree. Like, say, for Jerry Ryan, for 7 of 9, for example, when you watch her in season 4, of course, when she joins the crew, she has to relearn her social skills. She was in the Borg Collective for 18 years. And so when you look at that, and I asked her this last year during Voyager's panel, I asked her what did she have to learn in order to exhibit Seven's character traits to relearn her social skills? Because with autistic children, one of the diagnoses is you're not very social, or either you're nonverbal, meaning you don't talk very much. That's just to put it simply. And so when you talk autism with Jerry Ryan, she'll talk about it because from her first marriage, she has a son, Alex, and he's on the spectrum as well. So anything autism related you want to talk to Jerry Ryan about, she'll talk about it.
Okay, that would be a great question to ask her if her experience with that had any influence on how she played 7 and 9. I think that'd be a really interesting question to ask. So what tier tickets did you get this year?
Well, I always get the general admission tickets because, you know, when you look at the prices, and sometimes when you look at what I call the perks of the higher grade, from copper all the way up to gold and captain's chair, you really think carefully, like, do I need to really experience all this extra stuff? That sort of thing. Me personally, the general admission weekend package to pay for all the days in one price, that's plenty more than enough for me. And it works. Therefore, that gives me time to explore, go about town, and of course, I have acquaintances throughout Las Vegas that I like to see and catch up with. And, you know, just in general, I like exploring the town because my father also worked and lived up here on and off for over 20 years as an electrician. So he worked on the Stratosphere, New York, the original GameWorks, Bellagio, Sunset Station, Red Rock Station, Venetian, remodel work on the Sahara, and the last project was the Fontainebleau before the recession hit here in '09. But so it's this town, this city is part of my family's history.
Wow, he did a lot. That's pretty amazing. Mm-hmm. So when did you guys move out of Las Vegas?
Well, my dad originally bought a condo here in 1997, I want to say, when the Bellagio was under construction. And he was originally living in a trailer prior to that. And it's just like, it wasn't like he wanted to be away from me and my mom. My parents, as of this year, they've been married for 45 years. So it's not that my dad wanted to be away from me and my mother. It's just that he came here because the money was better. I mean, yes, there were jobs in Phoenix, but here the money was better. Yeah. So that he did what he had to do to support his family, and I respect that.
That totally makes sense, definitely. Now, did you find any special deals or anything that made coming to this convention maybe a little cheaper?
Well, sometimes it varies. Like, I'm originally from Phoenix, born and raised, still live there. So, like, our version of Comic-Con, Phoenix Fan Fusion, sometimes, depending on, like, say, for photo opportunities, sometimes the prices can be just a tad lower than they are here. But it depends on the person. Like, say, this year, I finally met George Takei, Sulu, and that photo op, I think, was only about 80, I want to say, whereas here, it can be about 100, 110 or so. William Shatner, he's about the same from here, but I think maybe only $5 to $10 cheaper at Phoenix Fan Fusion rather than up here. But if you're doing it only as a one-time thing, like you meet the person one time for one professional photo op, go for it.
Awesome. That sounds like great advice. Thank you. And then, let's see here. Are you excited for the new Picard series?
Well, I have to be honest. When Sir Patrick came and surprised us last year, we were all ecstatic. Like, say, I was in the back room, in the family room, and I met one of our science professors that was here that gave a panel earlier today, Beth Secord. And I was getting acquainted with her, and all of a sudden another lady came in and said, "Sir Patrick's on the main stage." I'm like, "What? It can't be." Never announced that he was coming. So I literally ran the rest of the way and into the main theater over here. And I got in just as he was saying, and he said, and I quote, "Jean-Luc Picard is back." And the whole place just erupted. It went bananas. So we waited and we waited for a long time for that professional trailer. And when I watched it, and I was like going, now this is much better. This is what's getting me excited for. But then to see certain people coming back, and I mean, Jerry especially, I was surprised to see her come back. So I'm most excited. So I'm hoping we get a lot of people from Next Gen, hopefully some from Deep Space Nine, and hopefully some more from Voyager as well. Because it's all in the 24th century, the start of the 25th century. So hopefully it happens.
I hope so too. I was really excited to see that. Oh my God, I nearly died when I saw 7 and 9.
I did too. It took me completely by surprise.
Yes, totally, because you weren't expecting that crossover, right?
Exactly. That's exactly right. You got it exactly right.
And Now, what is your opinion on the new Discovery series?
For Star Trek Discovery, well, I'll be honest with you, it takes me a while to get all caught up in the series because I do pay, for the downloads, but through a different way as such. So it's not through CBS All Access. It just takes time to get distributed amongst other servers.
Okay.
So what I do is, and just recently, as of this morning, I finally watched the finale for season 2, the 2-part finale. And so my opinion on Discovery is, I say it's good. It's got a great ensemble cast. I mean, so many ethnicities and diversities, and that's what I say helps make Star Trek what it is. You want people with multiple ethnicities, multiple alien races, multiple cultures working together, because that's a vision of what we as the human race must be, meaning I don't care if you're white, Caucasian, I don't care if you're Latino, Latina, or African American, or Arabic. I don't care. What matters to me is the actions, the decisions that you as an individual make that affect other people and all other life on Earth around you. That's what matters to me.
Yeah, treating other people with respect and kindness, that is so important, especially nowadays where you don't see that as much, right?
Exactly. And also, Discovery, the writing is great. They're doing a great job. I'm glad that Jonathan Frakes keeps coming to direct a couple episodes or two. Most excited for that. And of course, the effects, the battle sequence for that 2-part finale in season 2 was incredible. I'm like going, that's something we, the fans, could only dream of, like, say, up till 20 years ago when we thought the first Contact battle sequence in Sector 001 was great. That was great for the time, but now, 2019, that's what we want to see, but it costs a lot of money. They're spending, on average, between $5-10 million per episode, I think I heard. But anybody who wants to look that up, clarify it. I'm just going off based on what I'm hearing by word of mouth.
Yeah, double check that just to be on the safe side.
Yeah, but it's a lot of fun. So I'm super excited for season 3 of Discovery. And I just talked with the lady who does the computer voice for Discovery earlier today, Julianne. And I said to her, because of the way it ended, I won't say how it ended because there's maybe some of you out there who still haven't seen it yet, like I have up till today. But the way it ended, season 2 ends, the writers can open it however they like. So, say they can write a certain sequence about Discovery itself, or they can go back to Captain Pike and the crew on the Enterprise to explore that 7th and final red signal in the Beta Quadrant, which is over 50,000 light years away, which is going to take some time to get there. Question is, how long will the writers drag that out if they go that route,
Well, I'm really looking forward to season 3 and what they have to bring to it.
Exactly. And I even discussed this. Now, the thing is, there's some debate because in season 1 in the Mirror Universe, Rekha Sharma's character, Commander Landry, now we know her Prime counterpart is gone. That's the writer's fault. And I admitted that to her earlier today. We had a Warrior Women's panel at 11 o'clock this morning, and she was on that panel. And I had to kind of get on her case again, even though I promised I wouldn't. But I kind of had to. And I says to her, it was the writer's fault. It's not your fault. She wanted to stay. It was just the writer's fault to write her out. And so I said, because in my theory is her mirror counterpart is not dead. So there's every chance they can bring her back. We can go back into the mirror universe again, or do what they did for Michelle and bring her over to our universe, like they did for Michelle. Because I'm glad that Michelle Yeoh is on the show. I'm a big fan of hers from Tomorrow Never Dies. That's my favorite movie that she's in.
Yeah, it's really exciting. I'm really excited to see what they do with it too. There's so many different options and everything.
Exactly. And then, of course, for Tilly, Sylvia Tilly is without question one of my favorite characters that they have introduced. We all love that bubbly, sparkly personality of her, and then they go into the mirror universe where she has to quote-unquote pretend to be her evil, badass alter ego. And seriously, the hat has to go to the writers for that, for the dialogue that she gave. And I quote, "Is that how you greet your long-lost captain? If you greeted me that way, Connor, I cut out your tongue and use it to lick my boots." Now, that's, in my opinion, that's cruel, but scary. So I'm hoping to ask her a question for that when she comes for her panel this Sunday. Last year, I was close, but we got cut off because they ran out of time. So hopefully this year I can ask her that question. So, and if they do, the writers do decide to ultimately say, when you watch Mary Wiseman's portrayal of Tilly, in real life, Mary is not autistic, but when you watch her character Tilly, she exhibits some traits that are considered to be autistic, but there's no official word if they're going to ever declare her being on the autism spectrum. But writers, if you decide to make Tilly autistic, and she would be, as you see me, high functioning, meaning I'm talking to you nice and verbally, I'm maintaining eye contact with you, staring at that camera. If you decide to do that, I and the autistic community around the world would be so happy if you were to do that. I have no objection to it, whether you do it or you don't, but still, we love Sylvia Tilly, and please don't scare us like you did in season 2. That scared the living daylights out of me. I can't imagine Discovery without Tilly, and it's like we can't imagine Discovery without Sonequa Martin Green. We can't imagine them without Emily, without Sarah, without Shazad, and we just can't imagine the show without them. 30 episodes, 2 seasons. Discovery has so much potential to last even 10 seasons if they wanted to.
Definitely. Well, thank you so much for being interviewed. It was so wonderful talking with you and everything. And hopefully we'll see you next year. Are you coming back next year?
It is my hope to be back here next year because, when the series started, the original series will always be my absolute favorite because that's what started for me. But as a teen into a young adult, I grew more with Voyager than I did with Next Generation. Next Generation is number 3 on my rank list. So next year, the original series, number 1, Voyager number 2, Next Generation number 3. And so Voyager, I definitely, because I'm going on the cruise, the 2020 cruise, which will
go to
be
the cruise.
Star Trek Voyager in March 2020. And so then hopefully, and next year, there will be no doubt that Voyager is going to be a big deal here because it's the 25th anniversary of when they premiered on television. So I'm hoping we have at least 6 of them confirmed according to what the program book for this year says. But there's still a couple more I have yet to confirm. But hopefully we can get all of them back like we did in 2015. So hopefully.
Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate this. Thank you again. And thank you guys so much for watching. That does it for today's episode. Just a quick reminder, we are supported by viewers like you. Donations do make videos like these possible to be brought to you for free. So if you think that this video was worth more than $0, please donate the amount you think it was worth by clicking the link in the description below. So that pretty much does it. Again, join us. Resistance is futile. Have a good one. See ya.